you've been very entitled. Very
Entitled?
very entitled. I'll explain why. You get the fight. You get the blessing. You get the blessing. You get the blessing of the fight. Anthony Joshua didn't have to go over there, so you get blessed with a fight. You get blessed, and then Anthony, that should have been Jarrell Miller. Okay, so Jarrell Miller drops out. Luis Ortiz gets the next blessing. He doesn't take it. He pretends as if they tried to lowball him. Eddie Hearn threatened to expose them. And then, hold on a second. Eddie Hearn threatens to expose them. And then they come out to admit that it wasn't a lowball. Right. So the third. This is the third opponent now. The third guy is Andy Ruiz. Andreas Ponce Ruiz.
Why you saying his whole name like that?
Hold on. Andreas Ponce Ruiz. He's a third guy. Right. So Anthony Joshua gets in there, gets up, knocks Ruiz down, knocks the Ponce down once, rushes in because he was focused on your boy, Deontay Wilder. He was focused on him and what he just done to Dominic Breezel. I said on the live stream, I said, do not rush in after you knocked the Ponce down. I said, do not rush in. What does Joshua do? He rushes in because he knew that what Wilder had just done, and it was on his mind. He later on admitted that it was a schoolboy error. You need to fight your fight. Don't look at what's on the next man's plate. Never do that in life. Don't look on what's on the next man's plate. Stay in your own lane. Fight your fight. Do things the way you do things. He made a fundamental error. Went in, got clipped, and he paid for it. Got up 4 times. I don't think a quitter gets up 4 times. So those words from you, you're entitled to say them, but very, very harsh. A quitter doesn't get up 4 times from heavyweight punches. Okay, so got up 4 times. Hold on. You get a chance to rebut. Okay, so then that was the USA fight. The blessing. You got the blessing in the first place. And then you turn around and say the second fight should be in the US also. You don't think UK got fans? Do you not think that the UK has fans? You're talking about the money. You're talking about Las Vegas. You're talking about the money's over there. Well, allow me to counteract that, my friend. There's 90,000 people wanted to pay to see the fight over here. It's not all about the money. It is not all about the money. I'm talking about all the money over in the USA. But trust me, they're getting paid over. They're getting paid over in Saudi Arabia. They're not hyping it, but they're getting paid over there, bro. They're getting paid over there. Brooklyn Child, come in.
Well, just to rebuke what you just said, like you said a quitter don't get up four times. You said
that's right.
A quitter don't get up 4 times, but shit, you know the way the last knockout, you walk into your corner. First of all, you're not supposed to turn your back in the sport of boxing. For one, you walk into your corner. You're looking at your trainer and all this shit. You know what I mean? He did not want to fight no more. So in my mind, he quit.
When did he not want to fight anymore?
He turned his back and walked into his corner.
What you mean in the
you know what I'm saying? Like if you in a schoolyard fight, you fighting and you turn your back trying to get out the alleyway.
You mean
Listen, you don't want to fight no more, bro.
Are you talking about the last time when he got up from the ground? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, he didn't want to fight no more, man.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
All right. To me, quitting is when you lay down and don't get up. That's to me quitting, right? You lay down, don't go, right? Yeah. Well, in boxing, you lay down and go. Now he got up and he walked to the corner. Now maybe you say he shouldn't walk to the corner, but who's gonna stop him? He's big 6 foot something. That referee ain't gonna stop AJ do what he want to do. He walked to the corner. Now the referee said you want to continue, and his arms are in the corner. He said yes, but his arms are still on the ropes, right? The referee can say to him, "Oh, if you want to continue, why is your arms? Get your arms on the rope, go and fight." But the referee made a good decision at stopping the fight, right? But he said he wanted to fight, and he got up and he said he nodded his head, but his body language and his arms and ropes, he was keeping his arms on the ropes. He wanted to fight, but the referee read his body language and say maybe he didn't want to fight. But I wouldn't say he quit. I would say he was indecisive. I would say that. I wouldn't say he quit, because quit was when you lay on the ground. He kept getting up. Ruiz knocked him down, but he kept getting up. Now, I mean, really and truly, like a lot of people look into knockouts, right? Knockouts to me, right, is when you get knocked out and you do not get up. What happens to him? He got up. So he's looking at is the man got up. Ruiz hits hard, yeah, but AJ wouldn't hit hard enough that AJ can get up, and AJ couldn't conduct himself in an orderly manner and have an interview, right? He did that. That's not a guy who quit. It's a guy that get me realized that this is a hard task, and boy, I wanted to fight him, and the referee made a quick decision because it was like, well, boy, look, if you wanted to fight, you should be. But I wouldn't say he quit. I'd just say it was indecisive. You know what I mean? Or if you had a different referee, say, yo, get your arms up the rope. Like, let's say you had the Jack Reese or you had Steve Smoker. Go, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Yes. Get your arms off the rope, son. Let's go then. Let's go, right? But the referee looked at him and we see his body language from a couple of knockdowns and saw his body language and said, no, not fighting. And Joshua straight with, what? What are you talking about? You know. So if he wanted to quit, when he said that, his first reaction would be like, all right, cool. He wasn't like that. He looked at him, what are you talking about? Really? And then the referee goes, yeah. And he goes, oh, shit. That's what he did. That's not a guy who quit, man. You know what I mean? People say that. That's just my opinion. You have your opinion, but that's what I saw, bro.
I mean, I'm going to say this. It's not just me saying he quit. Am I on mute?
No, you're talking.
My bad. It's not just me saying he quit. You have professional fighters saying he quit. So, don't just take my word for it. The professional fighters themselves, because they're the ones who they know all the psychologies of boxing. It was clear that he didn't want to be there no more, in my opinion.
Are you talking about fighters who've been hit in the head a lot, right? Is that the guys you're listening to? Because I haven't been hit in the head. I'm clear to see what happened. You know what I mean? I can clear to see. You know what I mean? After some fight, Matthew Macklin got beat by this guy called Sergey, Highlander, right? He got knocked down and knocked out in the first round. They gave him an interview. He goes, yeah, I was close. I was in the fight. I could almost turn it around. This guy was sprayed out on the canvas, yeah, and he had 4 teeth. They dropped out, and then when he got up to have an interview, they asked him, "Yeah, what happened?" He goes, "Yeah, I was in the fight. I was close. I could have continued." Are you nuts? So I don't really listen to too much boxers. You know what I mean? They've been hitting the head. So I'm talking about like really, this is what we do. You know what I mean? Brooklyn, this is what we do. We sit and analyze stuff, and what I saw is what I saw, and that it's opinion, right? But you're right to your opinion, but I'm not relying on no one else. This is what my own 2 little eyes saw. A man who was indecisive, but I didn't see a man who quit, bro. I just didn't see it. You know what I mean? That's just, you know what I mean? Like the Nicholas Waters, right? Roberto Duran. I can go. They quit now. No man.
Yeah.
He threw his arms up in the air. Turned his back.
Man.
Yeah.
If Joshua had turned around and said no mas, we all know what that means. No more. Then that's a quit. What I saw was a guy who kept on getting knocked down and kept on getting up. That is not the definition of quit, my friend. That is not the definition of quit. But anyway, we covered that. We got each person's opinions. And now we're looking at, let me get my topic sheet. Okay, so I guess at this stage, we're gonna have to be looking at what we think is going to happen next. How do we think the fight's gonna play out? First of all, I'm gonna go to The actual fight, December the 7th. First of all, I'm going to go to EJ Box. Well, first of all, no. As a matter of fact, let me just go into the chat. Do I need to go into the chat? Not really, because these things are coming up on the these things are coming up live on the screen. But okay, I'll just quickly go through. Yeah, I just seen John Dealey's post, which said exactly the same thing I just said. Getting up 4 times isn't quitting. Okay, so that's John Dealey. Boxing librarian is up in the building. What does he say? A fight announced and 3 months of these Wilder fans spewing. Okay, so we got John Dealey in the house. Boxing librarian in the house. Who else is new? Dr. Wooduk in the house. Vincent Grant, a name I don't recall seeing here previously. Welcome, Vincent Grant. I've already mentioned Joe 56984. Pablo Diablo. Anybody else I hadn't mentioned before? No, I think that is it. So, okay, we're going to current times. We're going to present times. The fight's made now. I don't think he quit. EJ doesn't think he quit. Brooklyn Child, you think he quit. Okay, that's fine. That's an opinion. Cool. So, the fight's now made. December the 7th. Saudi Arabia, Diriyah. Going forward, how do we see the Ruiz versus Joshua 2 playing out? And to that, I'm going first to EJ Boxing.
The fight in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Well, I see Joshua winning the fight and winning it on the decision, winning it on the cards, you know. I think if you're going to beat Ruiz, that's the way you should be.
What's that last part?
I don't know what's going on with Mike. I'm getting some, I don't know, got some feedback, son. But yeah, I think Joshua's going to win the fight by points.
Yeah.
I think he wins clearly on the cards. I think that's the way you got to fight Ruiz. I think you kind of, you know, Ruiz is a brawler. He likes to fight, and you just don't think. I see, you know, when you get close to him, do not fight with him inside. Do not try and throw hooks inside with him. I know he knocked him down, but you know, if you want, but the thing is, if you keep it that way, it's going to be a tight fight. So I think that's the way you want to do. You want to kind of long it out and bring the fight down into 9th and 10th, 11th. Ruiz is going to be there. You know what I mean? He's going to be there. But at the end of the day, that's what you want. If you get in close, just don't fight with him in close. Just tie him up and make it a wrestling fest. You know, you should bring a wrestler in to get used to tying up guys.
100%. I said this from the start. You need, let me explain even further. There's a certain type, there's different types of wrestling. There is the Greco-Roman type of wrestling. Now, you probably never heard of Greco-Roman, but what that is, it's a stand-up grappling thing and then a hip toss. But I've been saying from day one that Joshua, even before this fight, even before the last fight, I've been saying from day one of the drills you do in MMA, one of the drills you do is you just stand up and you grapple standing up. You just grapple, you just move hands. You tie the person up, you're just standing up, body weight against body weight, and you're tying up. Listen, we're not some super duper trainers, but sometimes there is wisdom in simple thought. I've been thinking for the longest time that Joshua needs somebody in his camp. Does Joshua have anybody in his camp to teach him about grappling, stand-up grappling? Has it even been a thought to get a stand-up grappler in there? Has it even been a thought? I've been thinking this for the longest time.
Yeah, we study boxing. I don't think that these guys they understand.
They don't know
nutrition and stuff like. When I train the amateurs, I wrestle with them. I wrestle and show. I watch them guys like back in the days, Gentleman Jim Corbett. It's on YouTube, right? Because they used to go like 50, 60, 70 rounds, and what they did to because they done that. Who did you just mention? Gentleman Jim Corbett.
Yeah.
Right, and it's even on YouTube, and I use the strategies when I do the amateurs, and they're like, "What are you doing, coach?" I go, "Well, listen, the fight there's infighting and there's wrestling. What you do, I tell them how to tie up and tie up and hit with one hand, and I tell them to tie up and don't want to hit. So they control inside. So I said, if you don't want to fight, just tie both his arms up. And I showed them how to tie them up behind the back of the elbow, because you see the elbow big. So you tie them up behind the back of the elbow. When they try to pull out, they can't get out. And also what it does, it drains the fighter. Because they're frustrated, like, what's my arm here? I want to get my arm out. Automatically, they pull out. While they're trying to pull out, they're taking the energy out. When the time they break, the referee says break comes in, they're breathing, like, yo, and I tell my fighter to go to the body straight away. And like, yo, and so you're wearing them out, right? So these tactics you learn inside fighting. That's just tying them up when you decide. You see Vladimir Klitschko, like I said, against Samuel Peterson, when Manuel Stood brought him, he taught him exactly that, tying him up, holding him, lean on him. Let exclusions do it as well, lean on him. That's what Joshua needs to do. Lean on him, tire him out. Ruiz knew that, right? Ruiz knew that, but where Joshua went wrong is when Joshua just tried to fight him inside. That's where he went wrong. He was trying to do it. Yeah, but the thing is, he did it with Vladimir and caught Vladimir with the uppercut, right? So it worked then, medium range. Yeah. But with Ruiz, like, yo, that's the worst thing you ever do. But let's go back again. I always said Joshua got him on short notice. He did not prepare. So now he's coming in prepared. A prepared Joshua should beat Ruiz. That's what I'm saying to you. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So over to just before I go to Brooklyn Child, I really want to know, because it's been a question on my mind for some time. Does Joshua have anybody in his camp who teaches him about it? McCracken doesn't do it. It ain't McCracken. Teaches him about stand-up grappling in boxing, because it's an art. It's an art. And it's an art which he needs to acquire. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on that. It's a gripe with me. It's a gripe with me how I don't see him doing grappling adapted for boxing. It's a big gripe. Big gripe. Anyway, we could be on that for a long time. So anyway, Brooklyn Child, come in. The question is, how do you see Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Joshua 2 playing out?
First off, I want to go back to what you said about the grappling. Now, my question is in the UK, with the trainers out in the UK, are there anybody that could teach that form of boxing, grappling, holding, how to clinch, this type of tactics? Is that like that? It seemed like he has nobody in his team that's going to teach him that. It seemed like throughout his career, that's something that he's not done. So can you implement that type of game plan? Can you master that type of that art form in what, a few months?
I can answer the question. I'll come straight back to you. Okay, so there is ample amount of people who can teach him about grappling, stand-up grappling. Ample amount of people. And even not just within boxing, but within MMA. There are ample. There's listen. When I first started doing mixed martial jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there were few clubs in the country. Yeah, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, one of the ground arts, one of the ground components of mixed martial arts. They used to call it Vale Tudo back in the day. Portuguese for anything goes.
Okay.
When I first started doing that in the UK, there was just a handful of clubs. We're going back probably 15 years. Yeah. And then slowly but surely, the clubs grew. Mixed martial arts grew. And to now, there is not a town in the country that doesn't have some type of mixed martial arts facilities. You throw a stone in any direction, and you will find a jiu-jitsu dojo or mixed martial arts school. So when you ask me the question, is there anybody who could do it, bro? There are people all over the country who could do it. You know what I'm saying? I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I could do it. There's people all over who could do it. Now, it gripes me. It hurts my soul that it seems as if that has not been addressed.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this now. Listen, I've never practiced, jiu-jitsu or anything like that. So I don't want to sound ignorant, but how or just grappling in general. I haven't practiced these forms of fighting. But see, my question is, how can you implement, or how can you get maybe some sort of wrestling coach or jiu-jitsu practitioner to implement grappling, that they what they know about grappling into boxing. I mean, in these other sports, I mean, these other combat sports, they don't have gloves on. You know what I mean? Like they can use their full
they have
strength.
gloves on in mixed martial arts. They have gloves on in mixed martial arts.
No, but their gloves are different though. That's what I'm saying.
You're asking me, can it work with boxing gloves?
Okay, now I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this.
Is that your question? Can it work with boxing? Is that your question? Can it work with boxing gloves?
Yeah, is it applicable in boxing?
Bro, that's what we're talking about, bro. We're talking about grappling, which is applicable to boxing.
Okay.
Boxing in its infant stage has wrestling in it. Now, when we're talking about MMA gloves now. I know Raphael has mentioned MMA. No, I'm talking about the boxing gloves, man.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's applicable in boxing. And not only is it applicable in boxing, boxers do it. Boxers do it. Who's a good example of inside? Lennox Lewis did it. Lennox Lewis did it. It tie you up on one side.
Yeah.
It literally tie your hand up. It literally tie your hand up, loop his arm around your arm, and now you're only working with one arm. So we're not saying.
Yeah, Hopkins did it. Yeah.
Bernard Hopkins. We're not saying do something which hasn't been done before. We're saying implement something which has been done before.
That's true. Okay, now what I'm gonna say is this: can that be implemented in by December 7th?
Yeah. It doesn't take that long, right? I go back to where it was used. Evander Holyfield used it against Mike Tyson. That's where Evander Holyfield got the better of Mike Tyson in the first fight, but obviously he didn't like it in fighting, right? But what I'm saying, he initialized it because Tyson in that medium range, he throws a lot of combinations. That's where he's devastating, right? Because he's quick. But if you tie him up, he can't use his movement. So that's what Evander Holyfield tied him up with one arm, was getting the other, and Mike was like, "What the frick's this?" You know what I mean? Like Mike wasn't trained for that. So what we're saying is that it doesn't take that long. With my amateur fighters, yeah, because I know a lot of them, they usually get into the thing where head clash and stuff like that. So you have to teach them in all sports, up close in fighting, wrestling, medium range, long range, and then I also teach them ghost defense where they move the ring, like they move around, like you see how Parnell and Willie Pep, they use the thing. So you use all ranges of fighters because I like defense in it. So to use it, but yeah, it doesn't take that long. But what we're talking about, is there the coaches? Yeah, like me and Raph could go down there and teach Andy Joshua. But end of the day, them man there are thinking they're nice. You know what I mean? A lot of guys think they know it all. I don't know how many boxing people he has, and there's no Manuel Stewart around there. If the Manuel Stewart was around, I guarantee Joshua probably would have looked at him. Jonathan Banks is around. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Jonathan Banks teaches that. So there's loads of guys he can learn from. But are they going to implement that? I think they're just going to try and keep it long and try and keep the thing. But the fight is going to get in close quarters. And that's what you're talking about, where Ruiz wins the fight. I mean, from your side of view, you shouldn't want Joshua to learn that stuff. That's what we in Raph are saying. That Joshua should learn that. You know what I'm saying?
He can learn. He can learn whatever. He can learn whatever he want to learn. But at the same time, Anthony Joshua still gonna get his ass kicked, man. I mean, he can learn whatever he wants, man. But I'm gonna put it like this. I didn't do a video on the first fight, but as soon as they announced Andy Ruiz, and I'm being dead ass serious. As soon as they said Andy Ruiz, I'm like, okay. The first thing that came to my mind was, whoa, that's a way better fight than Jarrell Miller. Because honestly, I didn't think Jarrell Miller had a chance against Anthony Joshua. Just thinking about the fight in my head, I didn't think he had a chance. But Andy Ruiz, I knew Anthony Joshua would have issues with that hand speed. Because that's just something that not too much fighters are gonna see on a consistent basis, especially at heavyweight.
I agree with you on that. I've got videos saying that Andy Ruiz is going to be a handful. I agree with you on that.
I remember people were saying, "Oh, Anthony Joshua is gonna dominate Andy Ruiz within the first round." I'm thinking to myself, "What the hell? Have y'all not seen Andy Ruiz fight before?"
That's what I was saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you envision this fight in your head? You see, the problem is people just get caught up with people get too caught up in Andy Ruiz's physique. Yeah, that they think he can't fight.
That's true.
The man is an excellent fighter.
He is.
You know what I mean? Shit, I remember when people were saying, "Oh, Dylan White's a top 5." Because me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Dylan White. I don't think that highly of him personally. But I remember people saying Dylan White's a top 5 heavyweight. I think to myself, is he even better than Andy Ruiz? And I said this months ago, way before the fight happened. You know what I'm saying? So I always thought highly of Andy Ruiz. Now, as far as the rematch goes, listen,
Dillian White's top 5, but carry on.
I don't think he's top 5, but that's just that. I mean, we're gonna agree to disagree. But as far as the actual fight, the things that Anthony Joshua needs to implement into the next fight, I don't think he'll be able to. Maybe he could. Okay, when it comes to grappling, maybe fighting in a longer and long range. Because to be honest with you, that should be the strategy of Anthony Joshua, to keep the fight long, keep Andy Ruiz at the end of his jab. If he gets up close, properly clinch him and all that, grapple him a little bit. But my thing is, can you implement that? Can you implement that in the actual fight? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you can implement that style or those tactics.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Because Anthony Joshua has fought a certain way for his whole career.
How long's the training camp?
A training camp's what, 8 weeks?
No.
8-10 weeks?
No. The championship training camp is at least 12 weeks, yeah? So
not for everybody.
Well, okay, listen. Okay. In this case, a championship, Anthony Joshua training camp is 12 weeks, which is 3 months. Yeah. They've been training now for at least 4 months. Yeah, at least 4 months. In reality, he only had a little bit of time off and then he went straight back to training. So realistically, they've been training now for at least 4.5 months. Patterns, you don't know about the grappling. Let me tell you about the grappling. Grappling patterns can be formed in a matter of sessions, not weeks or months. You can learn basic stand-up grappling in a matter of sessions. Okay, so let's say a week. Let's say it takes a week to learn a couple of grappling techniques. And let's say you have 3 months to implement them in sparring. My answer to you is yes, you can acquire stand-up grappling skills over the course of 4.5 months.
Okay. See, my question is, Anthony Joshua has been fighting. He started boxing. He's been boxing for what, 10 years or so?
Yeah, I guess so.
And he's never learned this yet in 10 years.
Bro, listen. People can acquire skills. That's why the term exists. Skill acquisition, acquiring skills. And we're not talking about no super duper skills either. We're talking about basic, simple skills.
Okay, I mean, well, I'll put it like this. I wish Anthony Joshua luck in implementing these totally foreign aspects of boxing that he's not used to. And I'm curious if he can implement that in the rematch. I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Well, bro, you're not qualified to speak on it since you don't know about it.
No. I mean, okay, you can say I'm not qualified. No, this is what I'm saying. If he learns these new tactics, okay. So basically, are you saying Anthony Joshua, the key for Anthony Joshua to win this rematch is to apply to learn to grapple and hold and clinch and all that? Is that a major factor for him to win this fight?
I'm not saying that's the key. I'm saying if he implements such tactics, then it will be an asset.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree with that. But my thing is, I don't think in the actual fight, I don't think he'll be able to use those tactics, because at the end of the day, once the fists start flying, he's gonna go back to what he knows. In my opinion, it's a muscle memory thing. It's not gonna be like, I learned this new tactics. Okay, I'm gonna implement in the fight. That could be his mindset. But when the fists start flying, because you know what Mike Tyson says, once the game plan is gone, once you get hit,
He said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
So you're saying to me that Anthony Joshua is not getting punched in the face in training? Is that what you're saying to me?
Of course, he definitely been getting punched in the face because with the rumors he's getting knocked out. He's definitely been punched in the face.
It comes to me, yeah, that like a lot of stuff you're saying, yeah, like about Ruiz and this. Let me ask you a question: when Ruiz loses, are you gonna feel that way about him? Because like he's gonna lose, right? And he's gonna disappear.
You say when he loses?
Yeah, when?
Okay. When he loses, okay.
Yeah, because all this stuff before, because no one was saying this stuff before, and I will illustrate this again. He got him on short notice, and he did pulled off a great feat. But now let's see if we can do it again with Joshua. Comes in with a game plan and a strategy towards him, which he obviously didn't realize that how hard this was going. He's underestimated, man. That's underestimated.
I don't think you underestimated Andy Ruiz.
I don't think so.
Of course you underestimated that.
He underestimated. How you underestimated?
I think why? Because he was short notice, bro.
Sorry.
It was short notice. You can't tell me, right? They had an extensive training camp and they prepared for Ruiz. They wasn't. They were preparing for Big Baby Miller. He was all G'd up for Miller. You see in the press conference, the pushing, man says like about his mum. Bro, people in the UK wanted AJ to whoop Big Bailey's after the stuff he said about AJ's mum and relative. We was on it, bro. Everyone was turned up. Now, when it didn't happen, AJ relaxed, gave the man my belts. I'm just happy that you're there as a replacement. He underestimated stuff you're talking about.
Don't forget Ortiz in the middle.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're not factoring all this stuff in. When AJ comes, I'll give you an example, right? Look at Povetkin and look at Ruiz. They're both similar. They both hit very hard and they're short. Look how AJ handled him on a prepared. When he was prepared and he knew what to do, right? Now you have to understand, yeah, AJ's a guy who studies his opponents. They study, go over the game plan, and time again. And in Ruiz, he underestimated it and he didn't study. And he was like, shit. You know what I mean? He realized that, and that comes into indecisiveness in the corner. That he goes, where did I get hit? What do I need to do? That's the stuff that all he's like, because he didn't have no answers. You've never seen that in the corner where AJ's in the corner is like, what do I have to do? Because he's never been himself because they're prepared and they wasn't ready. Like people say AJ's like a computer. He literally is. You program the information in him and he goes out and does it. That's what happens. It's whether excuse or whatever you. But at the end of the day, you're talking on what you feel AJ is like. I'm talking about what happened. He was short notice.
Hold on a second.
It was short notice for Andy Ruiz as well.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, it was, but Andy Ruiz, yeah.
Hold on a second. Everybody, hold on a second. Everybody's going to get a chance to speak. How can you say that going from Big Belly Miller to Ortiz to, that's Luis Ortiz, to my man there, Andreas the Pants Ruiz. How can you say it's an excuse that he wasn't totally focused on Ruiz the way he was focused on Big Belly Miller? How can you say that's an excuse? That's just basic common sense. It's logical.
No, it's not.
Carry on.
Listen. I'm gonna say this. First off, like to say that was, he took him for granted. I mean, not took him for granted, or to say that he took him lightly and all that. That's an excuse, because at the end of the day, this is his first fight in America. You as a competitor, you fighting in a new market. You want to show what you got. This isn't no, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Look at Deontay Wilder, for example. You think Deontay Wilder hasn't had replacement opponents? You saw what he do to his replacement opponents. He knocked them out.
When was the last time? When was the last time he had a replacement? When was the last time Deontay Wilder had a replacement opponent?
Bermain Severn. And you saw what happened to Bermain Severn, right?
Who was Bermain Severn replacing?
He was supposed to fight Luis Ortiz that night. You remember? People forget that.
Hey, go back. Let me ask you a question. Did Deontay Wilder fought him already?
He fought him already, yes.
So if he fought him already, that's not a replacement.
Okay, that's okay.
Name another
replacement. Washington was a replacement opponent too, right?
Who from who? For who?
He was supposed to fight. Oh, damn, I forgot the dude's name. He got popped though. He got popped.
You're talking about Povetkin.
Oh, that's another example. Povetkin, Ariella was a replacement.
Hold on. When you talking about replacement, right? This you have to factor in like that fight was in Russia. So did Deontay Wilder fight in Russia?
No.
So how that replacement when the fight was in another venue and he had a chance to build up another camp again?
Yeah, that was a replacement.
Of course that replacement because he was training for
a replacement is the same venue with a different opponent. You had a different. That's never happened. Deontay Wilder never happened.
No.
In the same time scale. In the same time scale.
No.
That's not a replacement. No, it is. He changed the opponent there at a different venue. No. We're talking about
a different time.
The same venue, right? The same venue. And remember, you have an extended long. You might see his excuses. I'm telling you the fact is a fact, right? And I can tell you another one as well, right? Where Eddie Hearn messed up as well with the Takam. He was supposed to fight Pulev, right? And then they brought Takam in, and that was one of Josh's worst fights as well. Takam looked like he was going to go the distance, right? And Joshua struggled against him, right? And that's what this is Eddie Hearn now making badly because remember the numbers. You sell out the numbers where you are in Cardiff, and you're like you don't want to give back the tickets. You sell out the numbers in New York. You're like, yo, Joshua, just stay in New York. Go Miami, chill out, come back. We'll find your opponent.
Listen, man.
Yeah, when he saw that big fat belly of Ruiz, bro, that didn't motivate. That never motivated, bro. That never motivated him.
Bro.
Yo, we talk about excuses, right? But the bottom line
is excuses, man. Y'all making excuses for the man, bro. He got his ass kicked, man.
Excuse.
We're talking about logic. We're talking about logic.
No, this is excuses, man.
Yo, excuse is something you made up. This is fact. I'm talking.
This is not fact. This is excuses, man.
He
has to perform. What y'all talking about?
Where did I go wrong though? What have I said is not true?
How can listen? You can whatever you saying. You can say it's true or not. Anthony Joshua's responsibility to come in ready to fight.
He was ready to fight. He wasn't. He was
ready to fight and perform.
He performed. He knocked him down. He didn't knock him down.
He got knocked out and he got finished.
He got knocked down. He got knocked down.
He got knocked down. At no point did he get knocked out.
You know what I'm saying?
Please,
like y'all making excuses, bro.
Please, just let's stick to logic. Let's stick to
this
logic.
Is not logic. Y'all making excuses
from emotion. You are speaking from emotion, my friend.
Listen, because y'all not letting me speak. Listen, bro. Listen. Y'all talking like you say. Y'all saying, a replacement opponent and all this other shit, bro. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit, man. It's Anthony Joshua's responsibility. He's supposed to come in here.
We're trying to keep it clean over here.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
All right.
My apologies.
All right.
Anthony Joshua was supposed to make his mark in the American market.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He fights Andy Ruiz and he gets dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like to have these excuses for the man. He's fighting in a different country. He was preparing for Jarrell Miller.
Those are not excuses.
All this stuff. Like, bro, that's excuses, man.
Listen, you need to understand, my friend. You need to be able to differentiate between an excuse and a fact.
Okay, I'll tell you a fact. Andy Ruiz
tell me a fact.
Andy Ruiz dominated Anthony Joshua.
I'll give you a fact. Anthony Joshua knocked down Andy Ruiz. That's a fact.
And I'll give you another fact.
All
right. Anthony Joshua was bending the knee 4 times. That's a fact too.
I'll give you another fact. Anthony Joshua controlled the negotiations. How about that?
Hey, I'll give you another fact. I'll give you another fact. Andy Ruiz is the champion. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
I'll give you another fact. Anthony Joshua's getting paid more than him. How about that?
I don't care about that, bro.
How about that?
I don't care about that. That's nonsense. I don't care about money, man. I don't care about money, man. I don't care about money.
You don't care about you keep bringing it. I'll keep bringing it. Anthony Joshua, sells out the 90,000 stadium. How about that fact? How about this?
Okay, I'll give you another fact. I'll give you another fact. The one time Anthony Joshua came to America, he got his butt whooped. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact too.
Let me come with a fact. Let me come with a fact.
Irrelevant, man.
Let me come with a fact. I'll give you another fact. Andreas the Punch Ruiz was scared to come to the UK. How about that? How about that? Anthony Joshua went to the US of A, but Andreas the Punch Ruiz was scared to come to the UK.
Listen, okay, I'll give you another fact.
That's a big fact.
I'll give you another fact.
Deal with that fact. Talk to me about that fact.
No. I'll give you another fact. Andy Ruiz went to another man's country, and arguably, he's like, okay, he went to another man's country and put on. He lost, but he put on a valiant effort. And in the mind of now, from an opinion standpoint, in my opinion,
that's what you've been doing.
Andy Ruiz won that fight. But you didn't go to another country and get knocked all over the ring, bro.
You know what? I should call you Mr. Opinion because that's what we're doing here. Now we're gonna talk Mr. Facts out here. The fact of the matter is, your guy, he gonna lose, right? He gonna lose royally. He gonna take his big belly and go home to his new house and his new car. That's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna happen. And the Wilder fight gonna happen because Ruiz ain't defending them belts. He ain't doing it, right? And Joshua gonna beat him. And now we're talking about what's gonna happen, and you're seeing what happened. The bottom line is that you don't like Anthony Joshua. I already come to the conclusion. You don't give him no respect, right? And then
I give him respect.
No, you don't.
You're wrong. I give him respect.
Well, I ain't seen no respect out to you, bro. I ain't seen no respect out to you towards Joshua. You've been writing him off, and that's okay. You've been writing him off, and that's okay. That's okay because the fight is actually going to happen. The fight that Andy Ruiz tried to squirrel out of. Andy Ruiz, I'll give you another fact. Andy Ruiz tried to squirrel out of the contract. Yo, come on, let's have some courtesy here. Andy Ruiz was talking some big shot talk, talking about how he's not going to fight for less than 50 million. Talking about how I'm the A side now. We call the shots. We call the shots now. Yeah, that's the big talk that Andy Ruiz was coming out with. Andy Ruiz has been living like some kind of big shot, driving around in Rolls Royces, buying mansions, buying this, that, and the other. Yeah, he's not focused, bro. He's not focused. Yeah,
nonsense.
Which was the Rocky 2? Which was that Rocky when Rocky got kind of comfortable? Which Rocky was that? I only watched the first one.
That was Rocky. That was Rocky 3.
Yeah. Well. Andrew Ruiz went from Rocky 1 to Rocky 3 in a matter of months, bro. Listen. Andy Ruiz has been talking recklessly. Yeah, he's been talking recklessly. He lost the humble Andy. Where is the humble Andy? Yeah, and you see that humility. Hold on, that humility that he lost. That's gonna come back and bite him on the ass.
Okay.
Hold on a second. One second. I think I got somebody waiting called Phil Walker. Phil Walker, we're gonna get to you. Just write some things in the chat. Interact with the people. We're gonna get to you shortly. But in the meantime, write some things in the chat. Talk to the people. Share your opinions in the chat until we get to you. Phil Walker, I see you. Okay. Brooklyn Child Boxing. Over to you.
Listen, I gotta go back to what you just said as far as me not giving respect to Anthony Joshua some sort. Listen, bro. I'm not gonna sip on the Anthony. I'm not gonna drink the Anthony Joshua Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do that for any fighter for the most part. The way y'all praise Anthony Joshua, I'm not gonna do that to Anthony Joshua, bro. He gets enough praise. You know what I'm saying? Now let's talk about the fight. In my opinion. Now, no. Matter of fact, before I talk about the fight, as far as me praising, I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna be sipping on the Anthony Joshua Kool-Aid. Like just because I'm not sipping on the Kool-Aid or whatever doesn't mean I don't respect him. I respect Anthony Joshua because he's a fighter. He gets in there. He's accomplished a good deal. So I respect him in that regard. That's it. Now it's time to fight. And when the fight actually happens, Anthony Joshua is gonna get his ass. Sorry. He's gonna get his butt whooped.
You can say us. You can say us. You can say
us. This is how I see the fight. I don't think Anthony Joshua will be able to make the necessary adjustments when the rematch happens. He may be he may be trying to he gonna try to implement the jab, implement more of an effective jab in the next fight. Maybe he's gonna try to grapple. Maybe he's gonna get Hulk Hogan to teach him how to wrestle. I don't know what he's gonna do. But what I will say is when the bell rings and Andy Ruiz, when the fists are flying, he's gonna resort back to what he usually does, and he's gonna get knocked out again.
Let me ask you a question. Brooklyn. Coming into the fight, who did you pick to win the fight? Honestly.
All right, this is gonna be kind of weird to say, but I thought Anthony Joshua will get the decision, but it will be like a decision like most people would think. But I thought Anthony Joshua was gonna win a decision.
No. Did you think Anthony Joshua was gonna win the fight? Yes or no?
No.
You're honestly telling everyone now that you thought Andy Ruiz was gonna win the fight?
No. I thought Joshua was gonna get the decision.
No. So you got with however, you had Joshua winning the fight, didn't you? Yeah.
I had Joshua winning the fight. Yes.
Okay. So now after the fact, now you're piling on the loser, right? Like most people do. That's what you're doing, right?
No.
Yeah, you do. That's what you are. Because you know why? Yeah, you are. Because beforehand, you weren't saying this beforehand, was you? Were you saying this stuff? Were you talking reckless like you're talking now before the fight? Before when the fight was made?
Was I talking reckless?
Yeah, because you were talking reckless, you know. You're talking reckless.
No.
Right?
Before the fight, let me defend myself. Before the fight, the first thing that when Andy Ruiz was the new opponent, I said in my mind, this is going to be an interesting fight. Yeah. I didn't do a video on it, so I don't have the receipt. But this is what I'm telling you. I thought Andy Ruiz.
Go ahead. I know you didn't go no video in it. So what we're dealing with right now is people before the fact, and even me as well. I put my hand up. I had Joshua winning the fight, but what the stuff you're saying now is what most people say. But when it comes down to breaking it down in facts, that the bottom line is this: that like the stuff I outlined already. You don't want to hear that, and you're saying these excuses. But these are the facts coming into the fight, and you have to bear them in mind or not, which you're choosing not to, understandably. But what I'm saying to you is this: the stuff you're saying is what everyone else is saying who don't understand in the circumstances of what happened, right? The circumstances are he knocked him down. You said dominated. Dominated to me is when you win him every round. Lomachenko, that never happened to me. It never happened in that fight. He got knocked down. That's what I saw. Then you saw a guy going for the kill to finish him off and then get caught. Right? That's what I saw. Right? That's what I saw. Right? So dominating to me, that's not dominating. Then you saw a guy walk to the corner, right? And the referee asked him a question, having a dialogue. Said, "Do you want to continue?" He said, "Yeah." But his arms on the rope. Indecisiveness. That's what I saw. Now the negotiations. Now we're in Saudi Arabia where we don't like. These are the facts of going into the fight. Now you picked a side. It's on record. So let's see when Ruiz loses. Let's see if you come back and see what happens.
Of course, I'm gonna come back.
Right.
I've eaten my crow since I've been doing videos. I've had fights wrong, and I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the fight. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you acknowledge. Oh, sorry. Have you answered the question about who you think is going to win the second fight and how?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I seriously feel that as far as the fight goes, at the end of the day, y'all can say, oh, it's a replacement opponent. You know what I mean? Y'all can say, oh, you know, he had things like whatever excuses y'all want to make, whatever facts y'all want to come to, y'all want to put to the table. The fact of the matter is, I don't think Anthony Joshua can deal with Andy Ruiz's hand speed. I don't think that's going to happen. I think with the way Anthony Joshua is going to resort to fighting the way he fights. And that plays in my opinion, that plays into Andy Ruiz's hands. Anthony Joshua doesn't fight on the long range. Now, things could change. Things could change in the rematch. You know, maybe he'll put together a Klitschko style of performance, possibly. But I have to base Anthony Joshua off of what I've seen. Anthony Joshua is an excellent mid-range fighter that plays right into the hands of Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua is not the fastest guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua don't have the best head movement in the world. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua comes in a straight line. Listen, that plays into Andy Ruiz's hands. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so